Hello and welcome to Euphoria. Today I'm going to look back at the time I recently took some of my own Lego creations to exhibit at a Lego show for the first time. In the last video I showed you all about the show itself, and in this video I thought I'd share my thoughts about the experience. So let's see what I thought about exhibiting for the first time and look at my lessons learned from the experience and see if there are any tips I can share. The Lego event took place at the Brickworks Museum in Swanwick near Southampton. This used to be a working brickworks, but the site has been converted to a museum, which explains the whole process of making bricks, with most of the original Victorian equipment, brick drying spaces and kilns, with lots of information and other exhibits. They also have an event and exhibition space in which this Lego show was taking place. This Lego event was more of an activity day for kids than a show for adult fans of Lego, although there were a few exhibitors and a couple of traders there as well. Here's a quick recap of what I took to the show. I described most of this in the previous video about the show. My main exhibits were 3 of my modular buildings. For this show I took the Town Hall, the large office building called the Ensgrave Building, and the smaller Honeydukes Sweet Shop. I made and displayed some display boards with basic information about the MOCs. I took a display book with pictures of my Lego city and the interiors of the MOCs for people who were interested in the details. And I made a couple of spotter sheets to see if people would like to have a bit of fun spotting some of the details around and inside the buildings. So let's look at some of the lessons learned from the show and how I might improve things a bit if and when I do another one. Starting with the practical matters of transporting my Lego to the show and setting up my display. It was definitely worth taking the time to pack up my MOCs properly. Using a combination of bubble wrap, cardboard formers and crates seemed to work as the models arrived at the exhibition safely. I was lucky with the traffic, but I could have easily been late, so it pays to allow time for travel and to arrive early rather than be panicking and arriving late. It was fairly easy to access the display space, so it didn't take me very long to unpack the car, get the stuff into the hall and set up my display, although we did have to move the table because it was originally blocking a doorway. So it's worth checking what the access is like to the exhibition space, allowing time to get the table set up and transport the models from the car into the hall. The setup went pretty smoothly. I did find that 3 of my MOCs filled a table and there wasn't much room for the display boards. So next time I'll be checking how big the tables are and how much room my display actually needs. On this occasion I had asked about this in advance, and if there had been a problem I could have had an extra table, but that might not always be the case. I was lucky that there wasn't much damage to my MOCs, due, I think, to careful packing and unpacking. There were 1 or 2 minor problems, Some of the pieces were dislodged from the Honeyduke's Sweet Shop MOC, and I lost one piece from the Town Hall roof. If I do any more shows, I should get to know which parts are most vulnerable to damage or falling off, so I can bring extra Lego pieces or spare parts. Accidents will happen, and having backups will ensure I can make on-the-spot repairs. When repacking my MOCs for the return, I forgot exactly how to pack all the sections in the crates, so packing up took a bit longer than it should have. I had labelled some of the packaging, which definitely helped when repacking. I think next time I'll take more notice of the way I pack things at home, so I can repeat the process when I'm packing up at the show. But I'm pleased to report that when I got back from the show, unpacking at home went pretty smoothly, and I was able to place the buildings back in their places in my Lego city without any real trouble. Let's just think for a minute about engaging with visitors to the show. Engaging with visitors makes it more interesting to show my builds and adds value both ways. I think that at a Lego convention with a higher number of adult fans, I'd probably have a lot more interaction. But even at the large events like the Great Western Brick Show, I've found as a visitor that it's much more interesting if I take time to engage with the exhibitors. The number of visitors varied a lot during the 2 days, and as expected, most of the visitors were families looking for a way to keep their kids entertained during the school holidays. There wasn't a lot of engagement from the kids unless I engage with them first. Static displays are not that interesting for youngsters, so it would have been better to provide some sort of interactive features or elements. For example, having some movement in the display, or having a button to activate lights or sounds or something like that. The spotter sheets that I provided proved very popular, especially when pointed out to visitors. For the kids especially, it was a great way to engage them in looking at the details, but actually some of the adults got quite competitive as well. Some of the things on the spotter sheet were too hard to spot, especially those inside the town hall, which is quite dark inside. So for next time, if there is one, I'll change the spotter sheet to look for slightly different things. In the longer term, it would be good to provide some internal lighting for the buildings to make things more visible inside. I found that the adults were more interested in how the models were made. Some people read the display boards and then moved on. But if I engaged and started explaining what the models are about, then people appreciated knowing more about the MOCs and how they were made. I did enjoy meeting the organisers, the other exhibitors and traders at the show, and I found there was time to do that, especially at quieter times, and there was actually a bit of time as well to have a quick look round the museum myself. Overall, I enjoyed the experience of exhibiting at a small Lego event. The show was a success from the point of view of a trial for packing, transporting and displaying my modular buildings, although the visitors were mostly children, as expected, so there wasn't much interaction with adult fans. It was quite tiring, as I was on the go the whole day, as well as driving there and back and setting up or packing away. I should really have taken more photos and videos during the show to document the event and share the experience more fully with you. The show was an opportunity to promote the YouTube channel. A few people took the contact cards and a couple of people that I met have subscribed to the channel. And those are my thoughts on the experience and my tips for next time. It was very enjoyable just to have some proper uninterrupted Lego time without feeling guilty about it. So thanks for watching this video. Look out for more videos and subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos about my projects, MOCs and further developments in my Lego City.